Hey, Fellowship fam, as we continue the Galatians series, each week we are highlighting a different area of ministry and talking with people on our team that are helping do the amazing work week in and week out on the front lines. And today we have our counseling department. So, what is counseling and what kind of services do you provide for our people and why is it important? All right, so let's talk about what it is, what y'all doing, and why it matters.
Yeah. Well, what we do is we meet with individuals, teens, parents, couples, families. We meet with literally anybody that wants to come into our offices. And what we do is create a safe space, right? We just talk. We talk about your life. We talk about relationships. We talk about whether it's a present day situation, like, okay, how do I deal with my anxiety, my depression? How do I deal with everyday stress or work-life balance? Some people come in with immense trauma and they want to talk about their childhoods. So like we just create a safe space to talk, to address things that they can't with family and friends.
So walking around in an abundance of denial is not the most ideal way to deal with stuff?
I mean, you can do it. You're not going to be happy, but you can do it.
Yo, what has it been like with like COVID, racial unrest, political upheaval? I mean, with all the things that's been happening, what has it been like being a counselor in a church during a season like this?
Well, Fellowship's unique. Since the first time I came here, one of our focuses is that we're multi-ethnic, intergenerational. That multi-ethnic piece is so dense when it comes to therapy. There's a lens that often exists that I'm unaware of when I'm sitting with someone from a different background. They're unaware of when they're sitting with their spouse of a different background. And so counseling has always been rich with the need for reconciliation regarding race. When you have trauma that has happened in the last few years, there's another element that needs to be redeemed, even in a counseling space. And one of the archetypes of a therapist is a good mother. And so part of our role is to sit and say, I'm so sorry. I don't have to have experienced it, and in many circumstances I won't have, to really sit and say I'm so sorry that it has felt that way. So the concept of empathy and really sitting in a space where first we believe someone's experience, to be able to move toward them, to say I want to hold this pain for you, it really does do something. After talking about it, we still may not be able to identify what the problem is, but the sharing of the problem, especially when it comes to the differentiation of ethnicity, is holding that for each other feels very healing and very hopeful.
That's good. And you said that like a therapist, so I felt like you was like, I am so sorry. I've been practicing that in the bathroom, in the mirror, because my therapist said I'm not doing it well. So I've been, I am so sorry. Shoot, I gotta get it right. I'm so sorry.
So parenting is the best practice to say I'm sorry all the time.
I know. Tell me some stories of highlights of how you seen God move in the counseling department.
Yeah, I mean, I think honestly when COVID first hit, I mean, everyone was like, okay, what do I do with myself? Like everything froze, especially in March, where I think physically everyone was dealing with, okay, how do I just stay home? But also in the home, I had a lot of people come in and they're like, I haven't talked to my mom meaningfully in like years. Like, what do I do with these people that I live with? And they had to address things that they've been running away from.
Wow.
And I think a lot of people were really distraught by that. And anxiety was huge. I mean, I felt like all my sessions were just how to deal with anxiety for some point, like a solid 3 months. Like, that's it.
Anxiety and people who were already alone feeling very much like a hermit.
Isolation,
one of the things that we have always benefited from is sitting in the proximity of a church. Within a church ministry, as one of a church ministry, we exit our people into ministry. And we know, we actually know we're doing a good job when we stop seeing our people, which I feel like is the best thing ever. It's like raising kids and they leave and they're like, we're good. We got it. We know how to like get to someplace. But
mission accomplished.
One of the things that we see at Fellowship, because of just the abundance of ministry and need around us, is that when people leave our offices, they go and serve. And they serve in recovery ministry. They serve as chaplains. They serve specifically, we have 2 wonderful women who at the beginning of COVID both lost their husbands at the same week. And these two women's lives have intersected in so many ways, though they didn't have a lot of commonality ahead of time. They've both come together, and now we'll start a grief ministry.
Wow.
That fellowship will start out in the fall, and it's just a sense of understanding of shared experience, but also looking around to say, this helped me, who else needs it?
Wow.
And I love that that can happen, and that really is healing. That really is movements, which we love to see.
That's beautiful. It's so cool to see. We've got a grief ministry coming in the future. What else do we have coming up in counseling? What could we be looking forward to?
Well, we have a growing partnership with Fuller Seminary, and one of the things we've been growing toward is just our ability to not only see people, but have other therapists in our offices seeing people that we would oversee. So the state of California, at the whole nation, when you're going to be a therapist, you have to have 3,000 hours. And during that 3,000 hours, you need to be somewhere being observed. And so we have the chance to begin to slowly add therapists into our offices to see our people, doubling, tripling our capacity to see people. And we're looking forward to that. In the coming years, that will just continue to allow us to expand what we do and where we do it for our people.
Amen.
Seeing more people is always good.
And I think normalizing the opportunity to receive help.
Yes.
Normalizing therapy in the sense of, it doesn't mean you have to be in a crisis, doesn't mean you have to be inept or somehow insufficient in your ability to maintain. It's an opportunity to come alongside godly counsel and to have someone walk with you in a place that's safe, in a place where you can be honest, and in a place where you can then invite God into that safe and honest place so that he can give you the help and the hope that we all need from time to time. So thank you for your work, for your investment in our church's mental health as well as spiritual health, so that we can all be healthy for God's glory. Thank you, guys.